talk a little bit about some of the ways we can add work points, any axes, or even planes to our Inventor parts as we're developing them. And so, just a couple things. What a work point is, essentially, it's just a point on the object where you can put it anywhere. This is kind of a pretty lengthy definition there, but if I have Inventor open here, and I've got this little part that I'm working on. Whether I'm in sketch mode or I'm in, my 3D part, you'll see right here there's work features. Okay, and that's where all these are, these work points, the axes, and the planes. All right, and so a work point, again, is just somewhere where you can put a point onto something. So if I wanted to put on a point or something, I'd grab it, and right now it's looking for different planes, like for intersections. But right now, if I wanted to put a point on a corner, I could, or the intersection of a couple points there if I needed a point there. If I grab these faces here, if I grab the three faces, it'll grab the intersection of those three faces. Sorry, hold on. Grab the point, grab that face, this face, and this face. So you see it just grabbed the intersection of those three planes as well. But a point is helpful for when we're trying to make some more complex shapes. But again, we'll ease into it. We can also have axes, and axes essentially give us a line to work within. Those come in handy later when we're trying to apply a work plane. All right, so again, this is probably a lot confusing. We've got work points, we've got work axes, and we've got work planes. The best way to describe it, the points help make the axes, and then the axes help with the planes, in a sense. It's kind of a building block. But 9 times out of 10, you can kind of get away with just working with just the regular planes, but the axes and the points, you have to kind of manually enter. So look in here. For example, like this, putting a work axis through 2 points. So if I came here back to my drawing, if I had another point up here at this corner here, I could now take an axis, and it could be like this, or if you notice all these different types of ones, this one right here, between 2 points, or through 2 points. So I come here and select this point, and now I have a axis or an axis going straight through that. All right, that helps us out later if we're trying to again, make a lot of different types of shapes. All right, and we'll see the axes being used later on in the year. Okay. Now, work plane, those are important. Those are what we draw the sketches on. And so you remember, like when we were working with the puzzle cube, and we started with those initial sketches. We started a new sketch, and it came up with those 3 planes, and we picked one and started working off of it. Well, those work planes are what we are going to start working off of and drawing sketches on, and kind of it's really the most important part of the entire part here. So there's a bunch of different work planes we can work with. Just a regular work plane, but some of them we can actually offset. And what I mean by that is, so if I click on the pull down tab here, and you'll see offset from plane. If I click on this one, and I click on this plane, I can actually set off this plane a distance. I could do it, this direction, or I could even take it in the middle of a part if I needed to. Again, all these have different, uses, things that come up later in the design process, but we can make a plane and have it offset. And then if you look here, you see that work plane is now offset from my object. I could then come here later if I wanted to start a sketch on that plane I just put there and work with whatever shape I needed to. I can make a circle. Finish this real fast, and I could say, hey, I want you to extrude this circle, but I want it to go towards the object, and there it is. If I needed to go a specific distance, again, I could have just made it on this face too and extruded it out, but just wanted to show you different ways to do this. Okay, so you could offset from a work plane. You can angle a work plane. So for example, if I needed some sort of cut to go through this. So if I came here and I grabbed planes, and you can see angle a plane around an edge. If I came here, I want the plane on this face, and then I want it angled around this edge. And then you see I have the ability now to set up this work plane on an angle, depending on what degree I need. And so if you look here, now I've got a work plane on that angle. So now if I came here with a sketch, put it on this plane, and let's see here, I went with a couple circles, or let's just do one circle to show you what I'm talking about. I'll finish the sketch. Let's say this was like a drill hole for whatever part I needed. So I'm going to go to extrude, grab that, but I want this to be a cut. So rather than the regular extrude, I'll grab the cut, and let's go the other direction with it. Oh. Okay. Oh, what's going on here? Well, that's why. Okay, and so now you can see that I took that that circle, and it went through that hole there, or through the object right there. So if I had an angled cut I needed to do, I could do an angled work plane. Now, as you're making this stuff, you see that it's still all there, and it gets kind of annoying at times. To get rid of them, you'd have to come over here to the browser, and if you right-clicked on them, so if I right-click on it, I can turn the visibility of it off. All right, so right-click visibility. That way, if things are it's there and they're bothering you, you can get rid of them as well, which is nice. Okay. And then the rest of this PowerPoint kind of talks about the different types of work planes. Like I said, we talked about the angled one. You can do work planes between different faces, a tangent work plane, so that helps out if I have a circular object and I want to make like a cut through it. So let me show you here. This little rounded edge at the end. Hold on. If I want to, again, I can also come here, right-click the plane itself, and turn off the visibility that way as well. So you can do it in the browser or right there. So let me go to work plane. And I want this to be tangent to a surface and parallel to a plane. Alright, so what that means is I need to pick this surface. So this is my curved surface. And I want it to be tangent or parallel to a plane. If I just picked like a face like this. And what that did was it placed a work plane right on top of my curved surface there, tangent to it essentially. So now if I needed to come here, let's see, I start a sketch on that work plane that I just put in there. So if I have this little sketch here, let's go ahead and put a little circle here as well. And I'll finish this to cut a hole down through it. Extrude, I want to cut, it goes the other direction, hit OK. And so now I can create a hole or a work plane on that curved surface, and I can cut all the way through if I needed to. Or let's say that it was a cut that needed to go, not that far, maybe like a quarter of an inch. I don't know how that, there we go. Is that too small though? Oh, that doesn't go all the way through. Perfect. Okay, so you can see I could, put a hole on the top, drill through it, and it won't go all the way through as well. All right, but again, there's so many different work planes, and the best way to really kind of work with them is trial and error over time. I could sit here and talk to you guys all day about these, but I'd definitely bore you. But the other one that's kind of good is the mid-plane between two planes. Let me show you this one real quick. If I grab this one, and say I want a plane in the middle of this part, so I could say, all right, I need a plane that's mid-plane between two of them. So if I clicked on this one and grabbed this face, and I grab this face, do you see how it put a work plane right in the middle of them? I find I use that one frequently. Some of these other ones I've never used before, just because you never really need to. You find different ways to do it. But that kind of explains all the different work planes. So yeah, that's about it for now. So hopefully you enjoyed. After you watch this video, make sure you take the quiz on Schoology. It's like 13 questions, not too bad.